For months, the people of Ogere and Ikperu in Ogun State, Nigeria lived in fear. A person whom most of them considered a ghost or shadow moved among them, unpredictable, ruthless, and nearly impossible to catch. This wasn't just any criminal, he was a man so dangerous that the Nigerian police force couldn't stop him alone. His attacks were so brutal, so random, that the Ogun State governor and the police headquarters in Abuja had to step in. Despite intense manhunts and advanced tracking technology, he always seemed one step ahead, disappearing into the thick forest and abandoned buildings like a ghost. But no matter how careful he was, he couldn't hide forever. So, who was this man that turned the peaceful communities of Ogere and Ikperu into his personal hunting ground, and how did his reign of terror finally come to an end? This is the chilling story of Feyisola Samuel Dosunmo, a name still haunting those who remember the fear he left behind. Feyisola Samuel Dosunmo, who was also popularly known as Spartan, was not always a cold-blooded criminal. He was born and raised in Ogere, a quiet town in Ogun State, Nigeria. His early life was seemingly normal, but everything changed when he got admission into Moshood Abiola Polytechnic in Abeokuta, Ogun State. It was there, according to reports, that Dosunmo got initiated into a secret cult group that would transform him into a person who would be dreaded by everyone, including his own mother. The once ordinary young man began to spiral out of control. His fall into darkness wasn't just about cultism. According to reports, Dosunmo began using illicit substances that ended up altering his behavior. He began acting like a mentally unstable person, talking to himself, and also making a series of nonsensical posts on Facebook, which confirmed his alleged link to cultism. In one of his Facebook posts, Dosunmo mentioned an eagle, which is an animal that is commonly associated with a popular cult group in Nigeria. He had also posted a picture of an eagle under one of his posts, while he continued to make a series of nonsensical writings that spoke about death and possible violence. Due to his erratic nature and obvious mental instability, Dosunmo was admitted to the neuropsychiatric hospital in Abeokuta, but rather than find help, Dosunmo chose to escape from the facility, and when he returned to his hometown, Ogere, he was a completely different person. What followed after his escape was a killing spree that shook the entire community to its core. Between May and July 2020, residents of Ogere and neighboring Ikperu were paralyzed with fear. Dosunmo had transformed into a ruthless killer, hunting his victims like prey. According to community sources, he often boasted that he would kill as many people as possible, and he wasn't bluffing. In a span of 3 days, Dosunmo took the lives of 6 people across multiple towns in Ogun State. Among the victims were 2 private security guards working in a poultry farm, an elderly man from Togo, and a teenager whom he attacked in broad daylight. In Ikperu, he claimed the lives of 2 more innocent people, leaving the community deeply shaken. As the body count rose, panic swept through the community. The police, alongside local residents, launched a desperate manhunt, but for weeks, Dosunmo made it extremely difficult to be caught by hiding in the thick forest and uncompleted buildings scattered across the region. While the families of the victims mourned and buried their dead, Dosunmo vanished, lying low for the next 2 months. But the peace wouldn't last long before he launched yet another set of deadly attacks. In July 2020, Dosunmo re-emerged, claiming 2 more lives, including that of a mother of 3. His last victim was a community leader, Elder Olatunji Oladeji, the then vice chairman of the Oluwatedo Community Development Association. According to accounts, Olatunji had lived in the area for over 30 years before Dosunmo tragically murdered him on August 21, 2020. Witnesses recounted that Dosunmo attacked him with a cutlass without any known provocation, striking him fatally as he was about to enter his house. Despite people witnessing the attack, no one dared to intervene due to the fear of retaliation. It was revealed that Dosunmo struck fear into the minds of residents by always making sure that he tracked and killed anybody who pursued him after he had executed an attack. His reign of terror extended beyond Olatunji's death, as he had allegedly taken the lives of several others, including a nursing mother whom he was accused of assaulting before taking her life. The fear he created was so intense that many residents, including landlords, abandoned their homes and fled the community for safety. The escalating violence prompted swift action from the authorities. A new commissioner of police was sent to the state, while the Ogun State governor issued a direct order to capture Dosunmo by any means necessary. By July 31, 2020, the police declared Dosunmo a wanted man and also placed a bounty of 1 million naira on his head. Wanted posters bearing his face were distributed across the state in an attempt to make it extremely difficult for him to appear in public without getting caught. However, this approach didn't yield any benefit, as Dosunmo eventually laid his hands on one of his wanted posters and also hung it in one of his hideouts. The search for Dosunmo became very frustrating for the police, and this was because he had about 8 different hideouts across various communities during his time on the run. Strangely, Dosunmo always left drawings or symbols wherever he stayed, which helped investigators to track him. His hideouts included shades in the bushes and uncompleted buildings where he sometimes hid inside the ceiling. The bizarre drawings and cryptic writings he left behind baffled investigators and also raised questions about his mental state. However, despite all the efforts made by the police to track him, Dosunmo managed to avoid capture every single time. The authorities faced intense pressure to capture him, with directives coming from both the state governor and the Inspector General of Police to put an end to the killings. Despite repeated efforts, including prolonged searches through the bush, Dosunmo remained elusive. On August 24, 2020, officers came close to arresting him, but he managed to escape once again. Frustrated by the lack of progress, the police decided to change their strategy. They reached out to their technical platform in Abuja and then used advanced technology to pinpoint his exact location. This time, there would be no escape for him. When the police, alongside local hunters, the Vigilante Group of Nigeria, and the So Safe Corps stormed his hideout, Dosunmo didn't go down without a fight. He took up his weapons and attempted to attack the officers. Unfortunately for him, the security forces were more than prepared for him. During the confrontation, Dosunmo sustained a gunshot wound to the leg, which eventually led to his death, thereby ending his reign of terror in Ogun State. Authorities later transported his remains to the state government house, where it was presented to the governor, while residents gathered to confirm the end of his reign of terror. The relief among the residents was immediate because for months they had lived in the grip of fear, unsure of when the next attack would come. Now, the man who had turned their peaceful communities into hunting grounds was gone. Even with Dosunmo dead, the scars he left behind were permanent. Families who lost their loved ones still struggle to heal from the trauma. Samuel Olatunji, whose father was the last victim, expressed mixed feelings to his death. While he was relieved that Dosunmo could never harm anyone again, the pain of losing his father remains fresh.
As in, is like someone armoring my heart, because it's very painful that I lost my dad at this age, because of the load is much on me. It's very much on me.
My daughter called me that, Daddy, Spartan have caught mommy. All my mind that maybe Spartan caught him hand or leg. So after I come to house and I see my wife has already died.
Share your thoughts on this case in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories. Thank you for watching and stay safe.